morning, ma. Welcome to Alpha Online Education. Commerce theory part for the second year's English medium. The chapter that we are dealing with the principles of management. This is the third session of our chapter. Okay, this is the third session. In the first session, we have discussed about what is management, what are the characteristics, what are the features we have discussed it there, and afterwards we have discussed about some other topics in the second session. And in this third session, we are going to discuss, in the second session we have discussed about the levels of the management, right? So, and distinction between the management and administration. So, in this session, we are going to study about the nature of the management, significance or importance of the management, and the principles of management. I just written here introduction regarding the principles of the management, and we have 14 principles which I am going to explain you in the next session, that is in the fourth session, which is very most important question, which is not going to be quit in the exam. It is 100%, it will be in your exam paper. At any cost, that question will be in your exam paper, 100%. Okay, 14 principles of Henry Fayol. That is most important question. So this is also most important questions for 5 marks. Let us focus on that. Nature of the management. So what is the nature of the management? We know management, how they will work and how they have to be focused. Yes, how they have to coordinate their subordinates, how they have to motivate their subordinates. We know everything about that. Let us see the nature, how the management. Social responsibility. Yes. So management has a social responsibility. Whether it is a business or not a business, it should have certain responsibilities, certain obligation towards the society. So management has an obligation towards its employees also. So manager is not only answerable to his employer, but equally to the society. So he has to be answerable. He has to answerable not only to his employees or not only to his head members, just like administrators or the owners of the business. Not only for them they have to answer, they have to answer to the society also. So if they do any kind of fraud, if they do any kind of gambling, then they have to answer to the society also, because the business is such a thing which is carrying on its business in the society. That's why they have to answer to the society also. He is considered to be representative. Management is considered as a representative, means he has to show everything what is necessary to show, that have to be shown by the management of the society, and also has to care for the interest of the consumers as well. So he has to care for the consumers, because if there is a business, if it is producing very good type of production is going on, but there is no consumers, then what that business will do? They only have to eat that, they only have to use it. Yes, consumer is the most important thing. Without the consumer, no business can be run. Customer and consumer both are important for the business. So that's why society, it is a social responsibility. Management have the social responsibility. It should have to answer to the employees, it should have to answer to the society. In that society only the consumer will be live, and in that society only the business will be going on. So it has to answer to the society. Management is a representative for the society. Next one, science as well as an art. So management is a science and it is a art. Why it is a science, madam? Means it is a systemized knowledge. It requires some systematic knowledge. It required. Yes, without knowledge, how can you manage? You have to be a professional, or you have been trained, then only you get the knowledge of the managing. So it is a science. Science need a knowledge, yes, which provide laws capable of universal application and has a cause and effect relationship. So cause and effect relationship, from the science and art only there is a cause and effect relationship. When you are implementing some knowledge, that is a cause. Effect, the effect is that what is the result, whether it is a positive result or whether it is a negative result, that is an art. This type of implementation of plans, strategies, preparing strategies, implementing those strategies, these all required the science and art. So both the science art, these two are interrelated and complementary. Complementary means two things have to be there. Without one thing, the other thing can't be survive. In economics you have studied about substitute goods and complementary goods. In the same way, this is a complementary. Without science there is no art. Without art there is no science. So there should be both science and art in the management. There should think, that is a science, art, creating some type of strategy means plan. Okay, creating some type of plan and implementing it for the development, that is art. So the management required science as well as art. Next one, management has a distinct entity. So the managers will not participate at the operation level. Yesterday we have seen top level management, middle level management, low level management. Yes, managers at the higher level, okay, higher level managers means board of directors, chief executives, general managers, okay, managing directors, they do not work at the operative level. Operative level means at the lower level. At the lower level. Lower level who will be there? Workers are there, supervisors, superintendents, foremen. There are at the lower level. Yes, they will do the operative, means they will do the activities. The upper level will it will create the policies. The management will be, the middle level is the management that will implement the policies what is created by the administration. Yes, so managers at the higher level, at the first level, managers do not work at the operative level. They will never work at the operative level. Their success lies in getting the maximum output to the work at minimum input in the form of manpower, material and time. So what they will do, they will use the minimum input, means minimum raw material, minimum machine, minimum time, minimum manpower, means minimum labors. They will implement the minimum input and they will get the maximum output, means good output they will receive from these less manpower and less material and within the less time. So while we are minimizing the input ni taggiyadam valla labham emaitundante, the manpower, if there is more labors, what they will do, they will start doing chit chat, they will start doing some fightings, okay, some disputes they will start, some type of conflicts, controversies will be start. Okay, if there is more amount of material, they will start wasting that material, unnecessary they will waste the material, right? If you are giving more time to the workers, what they will do, they will sit and take tea break, and after the tea break they will go to for lunch and they will eat and sleep, and afterwards they will come at the 3 o'clock and afterwards they work for few hours, again they will say we want tea break. Like this they waste the time. So we have to minimize, the manager should have to minimize the input and have to get the maximum output from that minimized input. Then only the management is said as a distinct entity. So that's why the higher level management will never involve and never do the work of the operative level, because the members of the operative level should have to do their work. Higher level will do their work, lower level should do their work. No one will be involved here. Next, purposive activity. Yes, whatever the business, whatever the organization, whatever the enterprise that is started, it has certain purpose. Without any purpose, no one will start any kind of business. I am right. Yes, everyone will do something for some purpose only. Unnecessary we are not do anything. So same thing here, the management always aim to achieve certain specific objectives. They want to achieve specific objectives. That's why they will prepare one plan. They will gather all the resources what are required for that plan, and afterwards they will give some commands to the employees, and they make the employees to work that and to achieve that objectives. So that is a purposeful activity. Okay, next, management is a pervasive. Pervasive is nothing but it is just like a common. Management is a common thing in every organization. There is a management. It is a general thing. Without management, no organization can be run in a systematic manner. There will be no discipline, there will be no rules, there will be no correct implementation of regulations, nothing will be happen. Everything will be done just like monkeys in the forest. How the monkeys behave in the forest, the employees, laborers will also behave in the same way in the organizations. If there is no management, there is no one to control them, there is no one to guide them, then they will behave just like monkeys in the forest. Okay, whenever more than one person engaged in working for a common goal, when more than one person, okay, more than one person is engaged in working. Engaged means involved. Okay, the meaning of engaged means involved. When more than one person is involved in working for a common goal, for a common general goal, management is necessary. Means more than one person, means some group of persons are working to achieve one common goal. For them, there is necessary of management. Without management, they will do the things in a unsystematic manner. Just what I said before, monkeys in the forest, how I told you, in the same way they will perform. They will not give correct output. They will not give good results. They will do what they want to do. Okay, management is a group activity. Yes, management is not a single activity. Management means he has to manage everything. He has to bring all the individuals who having the common goal. That goal is the goal of the organization. Common goal means not their personal goals. Okay, I have to build one big house for my family. I have to buy one car. This is not, these goals is not. The goals related with the organization. Okay, for that purpose, the management will bring all the individuals as a group and motivate that group to achieve all the goals what are necessary for the development of the organization. So that's why we say that management is a group activity. It is not a single activity. It is a group activity. So this is about the nature of the management. It is very easy, very simple chapter this is. Okay, next, significance or importance of management. Significance means, importance means same thing. Just like a synonyms how we have, in the same way significance or importance, both are similar. So let us focus on it. What are those? Okay, yes, let us see. Society and social orders are changing. Yes, society and social orders both are changing. Society is changing and the social orders are also changing. Social order means the government orders, the government rules, the government regulations, those are changing. Yes, periodically they are changing. Periodically means from time to time they are changing. Very fast they are changing. Yes, scientific development is bringing changes in technology. Yes, if there is a science development, then it will bringing changes in the technology. So for these all things, the management should have to get ready and it have to show the victory symbol. Whatever the situation, whatever the task, whatever the difficulty behind us, we are ready to face it, we are ready to overcome it. That should be the spirit of the management to achieve the objectives. Next, helps in achieving Group goals. So management is a group activity as we have discussed here. So management always try to achieve the goals in a group goals, okay, not a single goal. So it helps in achieving the group goals. Management, what they will do, they will coordinate, they will motivate, they will give the necessary important suggestions and important information to the employees, so that the employees can perform in a better way. Management helps in improving the quality of lives of the people in the society by developing the human as well as non-human resources of the production. So management will be helping the people, okay, where the people live, the people will live in the society. Yes, the society, the people will be live. So management will help by introducing new type of productions, okay, by introducing new types of productions. They developing humans as well as non-human resource. Human resource means employees, laborers for them. It providing the training, it sending to the abroad for the career development, and it is providing some type of motivation sessions and some workshops they are conducting for human development, as well as non-human resources. Non-human resources means capital, technology. These type of developments also they are making in order to improve the standard of living. Okay, who are the people living in the society, for their standard of living, for the improvement of their standard of living, the management will help a lot for their development. Okay, so management in this way play very important role. So the next thing what we have to focus here, that is the management ability. The management ability is a test, put into test under market free cutthroat competition. So how we say the management is successful and how the management is fail? How we can say, when they are facing the competition, okay, when they are facing the competition, then only we can say that the management is successful in its function or not. So the management should have to face the competition and it should have to cut the throats of its competitors, then we can say that the management is successful in its implementation program. Next, management has to face and solve numerous labor problems in the society and industry. There are number of problems in the society. There are number of problems in the industry. In the workplace itself, there will be number of problems. Whether that problems related with the labor or whether they are related with some other thing, there will be number of problems. For every problem, the management should have to find the solution and they have to bring unity among the workers. When they will bring unity among the workers, then only the management can success in its development and achieving its ultimate objective. Next, management has to accomplish the objectives. So the management should have to achieve the objectives of the industry. If a business organization it is started, then there is certain objective. That objective can be achieved with the help of the management only, because there are implementation. They will do the they will perform the function of implementation of the instructions what are given by the top level management. Okay, management should change according to the changing economic and social environment. So management should have to change according to the changes in the social environment and economical environment. Economical means it is connected with the money. Social means it is connected with the society. So whatever there is a changes in the social and economical environment, with that the management should have to be changed. Various factors of production. What are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital, organization, technology are interrelated and interdependent. Yes, all the factors of the production are interrelated. Interrelated means each and every factor is interconnected and they depend upon other factor. One factor will depend upon other factor. Next, management provide maximum utilization of scarce resources. Scarce resources means limited resources. Whatever the limited resources are there, whether human resources or whether material resources, whatever it may be, that resources should have to be utilized in a maximum manner without wasting the resources. They have to use the resources in a better way to achieve the better results. Next, management helps an organization to survive in the dynamic environment. Dynamic environment means the environment which is continually changing. Okay, so the management should have to help the organization to survive. Survive means in order to continue in the dynamic environment, the management will have to prepare the plans. It has to implement those plans according to the dynamic environment which is continually changing. So this is about the importance or significance of the management. Let us focus on to the principles of the management. So Henry Fayol is known as the general principle of management formulated by him in the 20th century. In the 20th century, Henry Fayol, he is an engineer. He has formulated, means he has created 14 principles of management, which are very famous principles. These will not only complete here, ఇవి ఇక్కడికే ఎండ్ అయిపోవు ఈ 14 ప్రిన్సిపల్స్. ఇఫ్ యూ గో ఫర్ యువర్ హయ్యర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్స్, ఇఫ్ యూ డూ MBA ఆర్ ఇఫ్ యూ డూ MCom, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి, ఇఫ్ అప్ టు యువర్ పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ వరకు మీకు ఈ 14 ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఎక్కడా వదిలిపెట్టవు, మేమున్నాం మీతో పాటు అంటాయి. సో ఈ టాపిక్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఎగ్జామ్లో 100కి 100% వస్తుంది. కాబట్టి మీరు చదువుకొని రెడీగా ఉండండి. ఓకే, హీ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ద ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. హూ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ద ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్? Henry Fayol is called as the father of management. Fayol graduated in 1860s as a mining engineer. He was graduated. He completed his graduation in 1816 as a mining engineer. Henry is an engineer, industrial magnate, and was a successful chief executive. Okay, he was not only an engineer but he also industrial magnate and also a successful chief executive. Okay, with a long experience in the field of general administration and management. So he have a lot of experience in the administration side and also in the management side. He have lot of knowledge regarding that. So that's why Henry Fayol principles are very most important principles. Please read these principles. There are 14 principles. One more thing you have to remember, oka vishayam, 14 principles ఉన్నాయి కదా, 10 మార్క్స్కి వస్తే జస్ట్ 10 రాస్తే సరిపోతుందిలే, మిగతా వదిలేద్దామంటే మార్క్స్ కట్ చేసేస్తారు. 14కి 14 రాయాల్సిందే. దెర్ ఈజ్ నో ఆప్షన్ ఫర్ యూ. 14 ప్రిన్సిపల్స్కి 14 ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ రాయాల్సిందే. నేను క్లియర్గా మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. ఇన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ దీస్ 14 ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ క్లియర్లీ విత్ క్లారిటీ. So you will not have any kind of doubt at all. So you have to read 14. There is no other alternative option for you. Okay, right. Let us meet in the other session with the Henry Fayol principles.